Hello everyone, my name is Gulshan Memoria. I'm the founder and CEO of Inspiredvalley. We've started this initiative called the Inspired Valley School Initiative, where we discuss on some of the very prominent topics with the top educators in our country. So that today's topic is how to build resilience in students. And to discuss this topic, we have some esteemed panelists with us. The very first speaker we have is Miss Pavani Dokka. She is the Vice Principal at Tatva Global School, Hyderabad. We also have Mr. Pawan Sood. He is a principal at Shri Guru Hargobind Public School, Ludhiana, Punjab. We also have Miss Rani Ponnamma. She is a principal at Bellwether International School, Shahdol, Madhya Pradesh. And lastly, we have Miss Meera Sundaram. She is a principal at the School for Global Minds, Bengaluru. I welcome you all on our show. Okay, let me start discussing this topic and let me ask the very first question with Miss Pavani. Miss Pavni, building resilience require a very supportive school environment, right? So, in your experience, what strategies or initiatives have you implemented to foster a culture of resilience among your students and staff? Over to you.
Thank you, and good evening to everyone. So, we have adopted three ways, and I must say we are very successful in building resilience in students. I would like to share those three strategies with the panel here. The first one is we believe connection is important and more important than curriculum. So we build a connection with the student and we have a process called seek and connect method where the teacher talks to the child in an informal way, not about academics, but something else beyond academics. So that is the first method. And the second one is value implementation methodology. This is a very unique way of instilling values in kids. So we have adopted a beautiful design, 11 values for the whole year, and we make sure that these 11 values are spoken about and demonstrated in action in every period, every day throughout their schooling.
That's
So
wonderful.
this builds confidence, empathy, self-awareness, self-regulation, and whatnot. The child is confident once he graduates the school. The third method that we have adopted is we give more of PE periods, activity periods than the academic periods. In fact, for maths and science, you have only 6 periods, but for physical activity, we have around 8 to 10 periods. So, when the child is fit and healthy, the child develops good confidence. And apart from that, the health and fitness part, which is very important nowadays, the mindful thinking and the stress management strategies, all these are connected with health and fitness. So we
Exactly.
believe that a healthy child, when he enters the classroom, develops healthy learning and this builds resilience. So the
One.
three methods I would like to reiterate once again. The first one is connection comes before curriculum, seek and connect method. The second one is value implementation methodology, where we have picked up 11 values and we talk about these 11 values in every session throughout the year, right from their nursery till their 10th class. And you see the global citizens emerging after 10th class. I'm not sure about there'll be a good doctor or a good scientist, but there'll be a good human.
Exactly.
And
That
there's
is
a
the
lot of
intention. That should be the intention of. Okay, you what you have mentioned
and the
totally. Yes, please.
third one is fitness classes, that is PE classes and activity classes. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. You are. Please continue.
Yeah. So, yeah, the third one I would like to repeat more of activity classes than the academic classes.
What you said, Miss Pavni, totally makes sense. And what your school is doing is a fantastic job. Okay, but let me take a step back and focus on this questions once again. That our topic is how to build resilience in students, right? But first of all, we need to discuss why resilience is required. Because a lot of people they have this misunderstanding or misconception, okay, about the resilience and why resilience is and this is an open question for anyone. Anyone can come in and pitch in that why resilience is required more in today's century, in today's world, in 2023. Over to you, Meera ma'am, please. We would love to have
Good
your
evening
views.
and good evening and hello everybody. This is a topic that is very dear to me. Being an educator for almost 40 years, we were called teachers long ago. When I was in school, there was no word that was used very frequently that is being used now. Stress, challenges. We've never heard of any such thing. For us, it was school, parents at home, very strict upbringing. And we were not, we were very respectful, humble, polite, not exposed to so much like the children of today. So resilience is something that is very essential in today's children because they face a lot of challenges, not only at school, at the peer level, in the classroom, at home, especially at home. It is very important that we give them the freedom to talk. It is very important. So, what we do in our school is we have this buddy system where a teacher is a friend to a child, a friend is a friend to another child. Every morning for about 5 minutes, they sit and they talk. And we have a huge amphitheater where the children come during the break. They sit, they talk, and they exchange their ideas. And we also have a system where the teachers interact with the parents on a regular basis by visiting them in their house to see what is it at home that triggers in case of any anxiety or anger issues in the child. So we work backwards and then we find out all the trigger stress busters and then we provide them solutions. If you take any child, a child is very innocent. He doesn't know anything, be it a nursery child or a 12th standard child. They all need that patience and a lending ear. So we have to be that so that these children are not deprived of anything that they deserve.
Exactly. You've rightly pointed out currently the many challenges are going on in the student's life. Even I mean when we completed our schooling, I mean back in year 2004, I mean we did not hear anything like we did not face this kind of even we did not mention these things. I mean in a regular way. Everything was quite normal. School was a school, home was home. That's but now there many things are there because of nuclear families. There are many reasons out there. So what you are doing is totally makes sense that you are not avoiding those things, right? You are accepting these things that these things are now part and parcel of today's life. And that's why we need to train teachers to acknowledge all these things and then to intervene with the right methodology. Wonderful. Thank you, Meera ma'am, for sharing this point. Now I'll go to yes, ma'am. You want to add some few more things?
I just want to add one point supporting Meera ma'am's point as well. Resilience is a very important quality that children should learn. It's a skill, by the way, it's a learned skill. It can be learned in the classroom as well as in their life. But why should they be resilient? I think they should know how to handle failures at life, how to bounce back. It's not
Exactly.
always about winning, it's about failing and getting back to normalcy.
Exactly.
That is what we have to teach children. That is why resilience is important.
That's the reason. Wonderful. Thank you, Miss Pavani, for sharing your point. Over to you, Mr. Pawan. We can't see you. I believe you need to unmute and switch on your camera. Mr. Pawan, you have raised your hand. You want to add your point? You need to unmute yourself first. Sir, you need to unmute, please.
Yeah, I'm
Yes, now.
audible.
Yes, please.
I just want to just add one more point that after the this COVID, what happened? We have seen a total difference in the behavior of the child, and ma'am is very right that they definitely right now we need to uh, show some kind of sympathy toward the child also because for 1 year or something, as once they come back, and after even today also we are feeling the same that once the behavior aggressiveness is being found in the classroom, and the teachers also found that there is some kind of treatment which we used to get when we were small kids. That time we never faced this type of pressure like a COVID time.
Mm-hmm.
That type of things we never heard. So I think that right now the present child definitely needs some kind of resilience, and we have to see what is going on inside the child, and accordingly we have to make our behavior toward the child has to be some kind of thinking should be there done in that way also, because of course there is a lot of mental game going on, what they have gone through, a lot of mental stress these days. So there is from our side also there need to be some kind of change, and that is definitely needed right now.
that will make
That's
a lot of difference. What you said completely makes sense. Again, I'll
yeah.
come back to the Miss Pavani's point. See what is happening currently now. If you talk about with, you could take example with any exam, right? You take example with any exam, any olympiad, anything, there are many competition around it, right? But those students, those who are facing these competitions, they know, but they don't know, I mean, what to do after if they will going to fail, because everywhere they hear the success stories right? And we make the environment like this: if someone succeed, then we clap and we project it like an example. But what do we do after we fail? Nobody talks about it, isn't it? So we just want to talk about on this more, because I think this is the hot topic, and this thing will going to be in the future, because when they fail after 12th, or when they fail after, or in any of the examination, competitive examination, they don't know how to cope up with that stress, and then they take different kind of steps which can't be you can say reverse back, right? So I'll go with Miss Rani. Rani ma'am, would like to add your point. You need to unmute yourself first, ma'am. You need to unmute yourself.
Sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible. Please.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I through this medium, and
I think you need to switch off your video.
for
Okay, Rani ma'am, you need to switch off your video. Otherwise, the connectivity is not that strong. We can't hear you. Yeah. Now you can try speaking.
yeah. Coming to the like resilient or the how can we encourage our students? First and foremost thing is the creating a safe and supportive classroom environment. I'll be with all the points, but all other three speakers said it is very important for resilience. So we have to teach the students the failure is a natural part of the learning.
Exactly.
It is not the end of something. So failure can be considered as the growth for themselves. They have to consider it as an opportunity for growth. And we have to share some stories, especially about famous personalities. We know the story about Mr. Amitabh Bachchan and all that, because they faced challenges and they many failures in their life, and they overcame it with their determination and perseverance. So that type of examples. And of course, it will be better if we can give some examples from our own life, because
Exactly.
that personal touch helps them see it is not this failure is not exclusive to them. Means it is in everybody's life. Everyone experiences a failure at some point.
Exactly.
So this is the duty of the crucial role of a teacher to make the students understand this. And as you mentioned, we always celebrate success. Recently, one video circulated on social media. One parent, one family, one child and his mother and father, they were celebrating success. The child scored 35%. So that made me very happy. The child scored 33 to 35% only, but they were celebrating it. That is what we need. In the time, the parents, they may 98% even sometimes they don't be happy. So this is an example where we have to celebrate their progress. That will help the students.
You know why
And,
they were
another
celebrating?
Thing, leading by an example.
Let me
Yeah.
let me break this misconception. Most of the time what happened, we correlate the percentage with success, but that's not the case in real
Yes.
life, isn't it? I'm sure all the speakers would agree with this
Yes.
statement. The percentage is just one part of it, right? If you have more clarity in your life what you want to become, then I think then you would not able to correlate or going to relate the percentage part with your success thing. There are many other ways through which you can correlate that thing with the success. There are many examples in our life, in the life around us, those who have done well. So percentage was not a breaking, or you can say कुछ एक रुकावट नहीं था उनके लिए. They have exceeded well, but their purpose and their clarity was one thing which they were very clear. Or maybe the teachers or the society or the parents actually helped them to have that clarity in their life. Okay. Over to you, Meera
Yes.
ma'am. You have raised your hand. You wanted to add your point, please.
First
Unmute,
thing
ma'am.
what
Unmute
I
yourself. Now we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. No, when children go for any competition, so the first thing I tell them is participation is important. It's not winning. And when they come back with a prize, I first congratulate all the children who are not able to get a prize because it was involvement, their passion that was very important at that point of time. Winners are always congratulated by everybody, but these are the children who have to be motivated. These are the children who have to be encouraged and give always positive remarks to any child because it makes a big difference to them.
Wonderful, wonderful, Meera ma'am. Thank you. Over to you, Miss Pavani. Please add your point.
Yes, I would like to add one more point to Rani ma'am's point and Meera ma'am's point. I think all these will start when the child is safe and secure. That's what Rani ma'am says. The classroom should be the safest environment, right? However, there is one more perspective that all of us should look at. The culture of Bharat, which is not being promoted nowadays, right? We have to promote this beautiful culture where relationships take the most important place. When there are strong relationships, children build resilience.
Exactly.
In olden days, like for example, when I was in my grade 10, I used to run back and talk to my grandmother and listen to her stories about Ramayana and Mahabharata, and she used to teach me with these stories. Today, being nuclear families, children miss these connections. So, relationships play a very important role in building resilience in children.
Exactly, exactly. Yes, you rightly pointed out. Somewhere we are missing this part, especially with the young students. They don't know what is meant to be. I mean, to be in the part of this joint family structure and what all that we have learned during that time. Over to you, Miss Rani. Please make your point.
Uh, yeah, I want to add with Bhavani ma'am's point. I'm very happy that I joined in a school where they are concentrating for not only intelligence quotient, emotional quotient. The third quotient that is spiritual quotient, that is SQ. So we are also having that I care, means integrity, care, awareness, resilience, and empathy, and all that. As ma'am said, the relation that is missing everywhere. So that not only emotional, that's spiritual. What you are going to live when you are leaving this world. So this child should know the values. That I think most of the schools now they are focusing on it. That is the best thing we can see now.
This is good to discuss all these things while they are in school. I mean, though they will not be able to understand the fully and the basics part of it, but again, it's always better to discuss these things. Wonderful. Let me go to the next question. Pawan sir, can you hear me? Can you switch on your camera so that I can ask you your question? I think he's, yeah. You need to unmute yourself first, sir. Pawan sir, currently, I mean, nowadays the student face many challenges in both academic and the personal life, right? I'm sure, I'm being the principal of this school, being the head of this school, that you face different kind of challenges. I mean, when the students come to you and share their challenges, right? Sometimes you see that they're facing some challenges if you are very close to them. I'm sure that you are. So, how you strike a balance between providing a support and encouraging students to develop a self-reliance and problem-solving skills? Why I'm asking this question, because not every time we cannot go and support and we cannot go and provide all the solutions by ourselves. So they need to become more self-reliant day after day, and how they can solve the problems on daily basis.
Yeah, actually, here I'd like to tell that the role of like self-reliance and developing these kind of skills starts from basically the home. Actually, but we feel that in our Indian culture, like we are spoon-feeding the child. What happens that the child comes and from the very beginning, we pamper the child a lot, and there is a nothing we even wanted. We wanted that child should do. But this we feel that it's a pampering way of doing things. Like, and this difference comes when the child goes abroad. Like I can tell you personally from that my daughter went to abroad, so I just find this point is very, because what we do, we try to pamper and we try to that our child should be the. I mean, we are going to provide every. I mean, the food will be provided provided by the mother, everything. The same child, when he goes abroad, then he finds difficult all these stuff because he's not being told, because the family, the school, I mean, everything is being done. I mean, being done like everything is being given like this stuff is basically the role of the parents or the school or everyone is to provide all kind. But here, that kind of skills cannot be developed unless until the child is not being given a chance to take decision themselves. This is the where this concept whole comes out, that we are going to build certain kind of confidence in the child that he can do. Like same thing, the child is growing up, the parents have made up their mind, the child will become a lawyer, the mother is a lawyer, father is a lawyer, they want the child will become a lawyer. So that doesn't mean, we are not even asking the child, we are not even taking his views, what he basically wanted to be. So the whole education starts from the school or from the house, from wherever the child becomes. That mentality has to be changed now. Let the child should be take the decision, whatever decision they wanted to take. We are going to provide the solution. That and problem solving skills has to be developed in the child. That from the very beginning problem comes, it should not be like we are teaching him how to be successful. Then we are also teaching him that the failure management should be there in child. In case you fail, then what you will do? Because you would have seen that many societies are happening. And in our time, when we were in school called that, it was never even Kota is the society capital of the town, right? But because everyone wants to become an engineer, doctor, no. There are so many other professions. It depends upon the child ability to know. It should not be pressurized from the peer pressure, because that he has taken a medical, I should also become a doctor. No. So that whole training starts from the first person, from parents. Then after that, the school should take let the child should be the decision maker. That make him self-reliant and give him power to take decision. And whatever the parent and the teacher or the principal, if someone comes to me as a principal, they ask me what should I just try to see. First of all, ask yourself what you want to become. It's not that if you're like someone is going I'm here in Punjab. Here, the most of the problem what we face is that there's a lot brain. Everyone is going outside.
Exactly.
Here, all areas only in Punjab where the people, village people are now. Even from Ludhiana, here 70 to 80% students have only one goal: they want to go abroad, because that mind fix has been changed now totally. Earlier the brain drain was only in the field of IT or so now it's total brain drain. One student is going outside from everything, 20 to 35 lakhs is also taking with them and going abroad. So the whole concept, but we are not here to debate about that, whether they should know, but our purpose is to let the child should be trained, let them give them home, let them make them how to make food, let them how to make their bed, the basic training should be given to them from the for there's a difference between when 18 years old, any foreign country, the parents just they tell them students go out and earn. But in our country, if a student after 18 start earning, it's like shameful act that the child is earning. He's working in a restaurant. I mean, that's not the same child when he goes abroad. They are doing their so that
Yes.
thinking of the mindset that let the child should be given more self, let the power should be given to the child. We are here to give decision making has to be given to him. Problem solving skill like the brainstorming, he has to be given a chance to at least to think about a problem, then come out of solution. And this way the child develops the personality more. His personality will be more developed once he comes out. Otherwise, we keep on looking at the parents and the teachers as well, the principal, what he should do. Let them become self-sufficient,
Exactly.
self-reliant.
Exactly.
His
Exactly.
decision making power and other powers will be more developed. This is what I feel.
Great, 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 Pawan sir. I totally was relating everything what you said. I mean, with our life also, and with the current challenge with the students are facing. I mean, if we go back 20 years or 25 years back in our life, we really faced some hard time, because in our family there was only single member was earning, and we were like following, and we were used to hear no from our parents. Like if you want something, no, we don't, like you will not get it. Now the challenge is everyone is working in their family, right? They are very pampered. They are not
Yes.
used to, very, you can say, they are very not very comfortable to hear no in our
Yes.
life from starting only. The kid is like 5 year old to 15-year old,
Yes.
everything they have at their disposal,
Yes.
but in their family. But when they see the real life, when the real life hits them, it's very hard to accept that no. I mean, as a failure, they get it in comparative examinations or in the IELTS score or the visa rejection and the schools, Olympiads, anywhere. When they hear this so, no, or they hear No, they rebel in some actions and it comes with some more reactions, right? Isn't it? I think that's the case. We can come down to this. This is just one hypothesis, which is my, but I know that you have different hypotheses. Okay, over to you, Miss Pavani. You want to make your point? Please do that.
I think one of the most important things that as parents and teachers we are forgetting is we predict the child's problems.
Yes, that's there.
We should stop predicting children's problems. Let children make mistakes, and that's the best way to learn. Okay, however, they need that guidance on what mistake or the intensity of the mistake. Definitely, the adult's guidance and supervision is important. But predicting, and before even the child doing something, you predict that it will be wrong, the child is never going to learn, never going to handle his emotions.
Exactly.
So, let children, basically, children ape you. Children learn from adults. The way you come back and you finish, you know how you bounce back from your problems. Today I had lot of work, children. I had 25 books to correct. But you know what? I just made a timetable. My goal was only for 2 hours and I could finish that. I think that little point will add in the classroom there where children will start thinking, oh, if I set a goal for 2 hours, if I have a lot of work, I can finish my work. So adults should be exemplary when teaching resilience to kids and don't predict their problems. Let children make mistakes and learn from their mistakes.
Exactly. Meera ma'am, what's your take on this? I mean, have you ever experienced this kind of things in your school? I'm sure that you are more focusing on creating or making the students more self-reliant and more problem solver than problem seeker.
That's right. That's right. It is best if we understood the child, because no two children are same. They are all different. They come from different backgrounds. They have different parents who have different or a variety of professions. Some live in a nuclear family. Some live in a joint family. So all these factors definitely will help in making the child understand the values in life.
Exactly.
We are all called resilient educators or resilient teachers. Now, do we practice resilience is very important before we preach resilience. It said practice before you preach. We shouldn't get angry as teachers. We should always have a smile on the face. All these things reflect in a classroom. It is important not only to understand the child in a school, but also to understand all the teachers in the school, all the parents in the school. It makes a big difference. And as the principal or a vice principal or a person who is in charge of an institution, you should know each and every child in the school. It is very important to understand them, to help them, to guide them, to motivate them. It's very important.
Wonderful. Over to you, Miss Pavani. You want to add your point?
Ma'am, I just want to add some more lines to your thought process. When we say understand the child, ma'am, I would like to put forward what we are doing at Tatva here. We have developed a beautiful way of connecting with the child, ma'am. We call this as seek and connect. Don't ask. Questioning is different from seeking. There is a difference. So seek and connect with the child. So I'm sure in the corporates, all of you have, must have seen know your colleague, right? So the same thing I've introduced in this school where Tatva works, know your child first. Spend some quality time with your child. Don't talk about algebra and trigonometry. Talk about which hero do you like. What is about IPL that I should know from you? I think the moment you start spending this informal time with your child, there is a beautiful connection between the teacher and the child. And you will know your child better. Once you know your child better, you understand your child better. And that is the journey for resilience.
Wonderful. I hope everyone is done with this point, or anyone would like to. Okay, Rani ma'am, please add your point. Unmute yourself first. Rani ma'am, unmute yourself first.
Yeah. We are also having moodometer in the classes where we plan that when the child feels sad or when the child wants to speak to someone, so they will mention it in that moodometer so that the teacher concerned teacher goes and asks what is the problem. If it is happy, which thing made you happy? So the emotions and their mood we can understand. So that helps the students. We are also in the part of this learning. So they feel it like that.
It's a great thing. Please share that modometer picture so that we'll also introduce in our strategy, isn't it?
Sure.
Great. Okay, let me ask another question. Meera ma'am, can you hear me? I think she is not here. Meera ma'am, are you there? Ash. Okay, let me ask. Okay, the next question with Rani ma'am. Rani ma'am, resilience is often built through learning from failures and setbacks. Right, we've already discussed these things. So, how do you encourage the students to view failure as a learning opportunities and bounce back stronger? Are there any particular examples? Though you have already mentioned some of the things. For an example, you have mentioned that we can give the examples of some famous people. Then you also mentioned then we should be giving our own examples, that what kind of failure that we have faced in our life, so that you can learn from our own mistakes. Right? Any other
Yes.
examples that
Yes.
you can bring to our picture, and the other speakers as well? In the
So,
meantime, you can think.
as in between, Meera ma'am was mentioning, lead by example. So, what we usually see in our schools, especially during the competitions, when it comes as a cultural competition or house-wise competition, teachers forget what is happening, and they will be reacting in such a way. So we are supposed to react, or we have to respond in such a way that failure is okay. Winning is not only the concern. We can accept the failure, and we can bounce back with our. And this is first thing we have to make the students understand is ability is something can be developed. That we have to make them understand. So the child will understand, yes, I can improve my, it is a developing quality. So that is an important thing we have to give to the students. So they should feel that.
Great. One example I would like to share, I'm sure, with the audience as well, with everyone also. I mean, I'm sure that every one of you are, reaching out to the students and making them and building them, helping them in every sense. But I think we should be also organizing some sessions with the parents as well on the similar lines, isn't it? Because because parents are more concerned than the students, right? Because they are more indulged in the students' activities about their future and everything, and they're more concerned, okay, if the student will not able to achieve this, then what is the option? So I'm sure many schools are doing this thing, but we should be more actively engaging with the parents also on the similar lines. This is just wanted to add. Over to you, Ms. Pavani. Then I'll go to Meera ma'am on the same point.
So one of the things that we are following, and I would like to share this with the panel.
Please.
Feedback. Feedback is one of the most important tools to help children to build resilience as well as to improve. Let's not talk about failure. Let's focus on feedback. Feedback is a beautiful tool for improvement. Now, when I talk about feedback, teachers usually, when they correct the notebooks, they give good, nice, can do better. Okay, but I do that in a little different way, and I want to share that for the next 15 seconds. So when I write feedback, I focus on these are the areas where you need improvement. These are the areas you've done fantastic. Can you please do this for me for the next time, please? And you see children coming back and bouncing back, and they never think that they've failed in something. So feedback is one of the most important tools.
But exactly, this is how it should be done. For an example, in my 11th standard, I took it commerce with mathematics. I was not good in science. So when I failed, damagingly in my 8th standard, right? Not वैसे वाला fail, but the other वाला fail. Why I was not able to understand the physics and chemistry. So the teacher did not took any charge in my learning process, right? That was something which I was missing. The teacher did not do anything, and मुझे तो वैसे भी कुछ नहीं करना था. And that's how the journey started in my life. And I continuously failed in all my physics and chemistry in the later classes. And that's why I took the other thing. So this was not something which was in my hand. So I think what Miss Pavani is doing with her students, it's really well. They are in safe hands, I would rather say. Over to you, Meera ma'am. Please share your point.
Every assembly of mine starts with King Bruce and the Spider. Since I was a child, I have heard that from my teachers. So I narrate this story to the children. So that shows how you have to steadfast, think on your goal, and then move ahead. And we have the system called meet and greet at the beginning of each year, where we meet the parents, we talk to them, we understand their expectations, and we tell them this is what is expected of you also. See, this is a tri-cornered. The parent, the child, and the teacher. None of us can work single-handedly. And today's parents have just one or two children. They are so possessive. They provide everything that the child wants. They never say a no. So the child has understood that he is adamant, he gets it. He is arrogant, he does not get punished. So all these little things, you have to take in your stride. And as educators, it comes to us with the age. But the new young teachers, they feel very offended. I tell them, doesn't matter. When they go to the class, sometimes when the child fails, maybe in grade 7 or 8 or 9, they come and tell me, ma'am, I was scolded at by the teacher for scoring less. So I told him, go to your class and ask your maths teacher how much she scored in her exam in grade 7. So he went and asked her. He said, ma'am, she came to me running. Ma'am, what did you tell him to come and ask me? Small things.
This reminds me of a Hindi example or a Hindi saying that अगर घी सीधी उंगली से नहीं निकलता तो उंगली टेढ़ी करनी पड़ती है.
Right.
So this is a perfect example, and this comes with experience, I would rather say, right? Those who all
Yes,
experienced
yes,
teacher, they have learned this thing, and they're now going to do this. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Meera ma'am, for sharing your point. Over to you, Miss Rani.
Yeah, I was adding one point like encouraging self-reflection and ask the questions whenever adding with the Pavani ma'am's point, constructive feedback. What she mentioned is wonderful. The similar way that we have to encourage that self-reflection, asking the questions that what did I do in this, what is the experience with this particular maybe exams, so whatever the event. And similarly, we have to ask how can I apply this knowledge in the future. So we have to make the students practice these questions with them. Every time they will improve it, and they will have the feeling, I can, means automatically they are learning the resilience, means improvement is important.
Exactly.
Rather than the
learning
success.
is not something that we can teach a student. It's a process. I mean, by itself, from one example to another example, from one experience to another experience, they learn through the process. And this is how we learned it.
Yes.
This is how the human evolution took place, isn't it?
And by resilience, we are not only meaning about academic resilience.
Yes.
So many are there, like emotional resilience, physical resilience, everywhere. Wherever this teachers can help them, we have to mention it. And I hope we all know the story of this 4 children who survived from Amazon. So that is a beautiful story we have to share with our students. 4 kids in the Amazon forest there. Even adult cannot live in such a life. But they lived that life, and 40 days they could survive just because of their resilience and perseverance. And the learning what they had, the knowledge, they used it. Even it was written, they were wrapped their legs and all that, because they know that snakes and everything is there.
The stories
So
make
that
much
is a
more
wonderful
sense.
story, and
Yes.
we can share with the students.
The story make
Even
much
11
more sense with
months
every.
old child, 11 months old child.
Wonderful. Over to you, Miss Pavani. Thank you, Rani ma'am, for sharing your point.
Thank you, Rani ma'am. I think reflections play a very important role, whether it is teaching or learning. I think reflections always take back, and we have to check what is the muddiest point, and we get back to our, setbacks. Apart from that, I would like to add one more point to Meera ma'am's point. The new generation teachers or the old generation teachers, a teacher remains a teacher. Okay, no matter what. So
That's a good
one
one.
of the points that most of us often forget, it is the teacher that makes the difference, not the classroom. So if all of you are sharing certain examples, you are talking about, my teacher has given me bad feedback. My teacher scolded me, right? No one likes English. They like English because of Pavani ma'am. They like science because of Meera ma'am. They like maths because of Rani ma'am. It is the teacher that makes the difference. So children come to school to socialize, to have fun, to do whatnot with their friends. In the whole process, little bit of maths, little bit of English, little bit of science, we are trying to feed them. And there, that is the teacher who's having an impact till eternity. So then they will not focus on failures. They know in English, I will pass because my ma'am is there and I like my ma'am. Let children like teachers. Let teachers develop these connections so that children like them. Then you'll see the difference in classroom.
Wonderful, wonderful. When you said that, na, that everything take place apart from the education, so I was little skeptical. Okay, over to you, Pawan sir. Please mention your point. First, unmute yourself. Sir, unmute yourself first. Unmute. Just click once. Click once.
I'm
Yes.
audible?
Now. Yes.
I'm
Now.
audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, there's two parts of there. One part is that we always go for the success stories. I think we should go for the failure stories also, because the failures are the pillar to success, and they are the one we can give. Like as earlier we had discussed, that no doubt that everyone talks about the success. But yes, failure. Abraham Lincoln was a total failure. He was the 47, 6 years. He had nothing. He was ever successful after he became the president of the America. So same type of things, that the failures story should be discussed, because the ones who win, one who fail also is a part and part of a learning process. And then the role of the second part, the role of teacher is very important. I must tell you from my personal experience that I was not good in mathematics, and I can say because of my teacher. What happens? I used to take private tuition from her, and the same questions were coming in the examination. For 2 3 I was not. And today, even after doing BSc, I am not good in mathematics. And whenever I see the teacher, that things comes in mind, that teacher has done something wrong with me. Because
Same thing with me, sir. Also, same thing with me. I was in my 9th standard, and my maths teacher told me, if you want to learn real mathematics, come at my house. And when I went to his house, he gave me, before all the examination, he used to give us 50 questions. So out of these 50 questions, the 15 questions used to come in the examination. Only 15, not 25. So we always used to get 60 or 70% marks in mathematics. 9th class, I passed like this. There's no shame in this.
Then from 5th class, I thought that whatever question, I am very good in math. No, think from with me, because I was not never knowing the same question, because very small child, 5th, 6th class, I'm not able to understand. But later on, when I was in 8th, 9th, then I realized that my basic fundamentals are not clear, because I thought I was good in mathematics. Same thing like that happened with me. And today onwards, even I feel that the teacher's role definitely is very important. They are the one who can definitely shape the career. And even I see, if I have to go for make a career in mathematics, even today also in market, if I pay something, I forget to take percentage and all that, because that part is with me, that I am not good in mathematics. So that thing should be avoided, I think. So
Hey, I think teachers are doing
they
a
the role
fantastic job
models.
right now. Even all the schools. I mean, recently we went to Pavani's ma'am school to conduct the training programs, and we saw that a lot of things were happening in that school. So now, if we can see, because being the training company, we go to different schools, and the schools like Pavani's ma'am and the other schools, there are many schools who are doing a lot of good stuff, which is required, which were missing entirely. I mean, 10 15 years back, right? Now we, all the educators, the leaders, are actually acknowledging these things, that these things are happening. And if we do not acknowledge, then we are going to be fall, I mean, drastically. So again, it's good that people are acknowledging these issues and they are doing something about it. Okay, now let me ask another questions with Meera ma'am. Meera ma'am, currently this social and emotional learning plays a very significant role in building the resilience. We have discussed in length, I mean, I'm sure. So how you have integrated the SEL program, the social and emotional learnings or initiative, in your school curriculum, and what outcomes that you have observed in your student, if you have done so? Any particular examples?
We cannot implement it in one particular class, or it cannot be defined. It has to be practiced every day. Like how in the kindergarten we have the circle time and story time. So little values and the social and emotional skills have to be developed. Now, these children in the age group, maybe 3 to 7, have lost 2 solid years of social togetherness.
Exactly.
They have come to school without knowing much about how to handle friends, how to sit in a classroom. After COVID, the first day when children came, they said, "Hi, ma'am." I was wondering, oh my God, this is what they have learned in 2 years. They've forgotten to say, "Good morning, ma'am. Please, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am." They used to get up, walk off. And I used to ask, "Where are you going?" They're going to the washroom, going to have my break. So they have lost on all these things. And senior children, of course, they had a very, very uniform tag. "Ma'am, there is no connectivity." They switch off and they push off. So when we are back to school, all these skills slowly, slowly, now it has taken almost a year after COVID, and we're trying to build. You cannot have overtime. 2 years have been lost. It's going to take another 2 years to bring all these back. Now, earlier, what as principals or teachers we speak in the assembly, it is remembered for a long, long time. I myself don't remember that I had quoted, "The cheetah pulls back before it jumps." So when a child got around 94 or 95%, in grade 7, he was having something around 60 to 65. So I congratulated him. He said, "Ma'am, I still remember what you said. A cheetah pulls back before it bounces, or before it pounces." So such things I never knew would make an impact on the child. So as teachers, we have to take utmost care when we speak to the children. We have to embrace them with all their positives and negatives so that we guide them properly.
That completely makes sense. I mean, our small actions play a larger role in their life. Wonderful. Over to you, Rani ma'am. Please add your point.
I was also thinking the same thing. Like we speak a lot, but whether we are doing it, that is the main concern. We always tell the teachers, and I try to implement myself. Means what the child wants from us. What is the ultimate aim? Is it becoming a successful person? Yeah. Is it you want to become a doctor or engineer or a scientist or someone? At the end, whether you want to be a rich person, want to become a rich person, whatever it is, at the end, we need a successful, a happy and peaceful life. I must add the peacefulness also. So for the world. So we have to make them understand these are the main goal. We have to live a happy life. For that, all these additions we are doing. So to live happily, we need people around us who cares, and we have to care about the country, about the people around us. So that quality, that's as it as a curriculum when it comes to social emotional learning. This is a new school where I joined, but the previous schools we had a platform where persona life skills from it is from US based one. So they were also having so many activities related to it. But I would say in India, what we do in this at home, that matters. How we are taking care of. You see, in nowadays, so many old age homes, so many orphanages. So in many such type of platforms are coming just because we are not able to take care of our aged people, or our we have to say our parents or elders.
So what you are
So
saying
that
completely makes
mindset.
sense. Yeah, what you said completely makes sense. Okay, apart from what you want to become, that's fine. But our intention should be very clear that lead a happy and successful life. All these things are just the medium. And we need to
Yes.
avoid everything which is going on, this old age home or something. So we need to
Yes.
infuse the values first, right?
Values
Great, great,
first.
great, great. Great, ma'am. Okay, so we have come down to the last section. Thank you, everyone. Now, the last section is the rapid fire round. In the rapid fire round, we are discussing this topic called how to build resilience in students. And I'm sure that every one of you have mentioned some fantastic points which will help our audience. I'm sure. I mean, all our listeners, whether the teachers, coordinators, vice principals, or the principals, they have many things to do. I mean, after hearing out this webinar. But still, I would like to have two more suggestions from your side. Okay, so the topic is how to build resilience in students. Being the rapid fire round, I'll give you 30 seconds to think of it. After 30 seconds, I'll start with Mr. Pawan, then to Miss Pavani, then Rani ma'am, then Meera ma'am. And you need to give me two good suggestions which through which we can build the resilience, but not the point which I've already mentioned. Fine? So some new suggestions, some out of the box suggestions, you can think of it. I'm giving you 30 seconds to think, then I'll give you, and you don't have to explain in length. Or just give me two examples, that's it. Two suggestions, that's it. Which you think that might or can be implemented in the school setup. First Pawan sir, then Pavani ma'am, Rani ma'am, then Meera ma'am. I hope my question is loud and clear to everyone. Great, great, great. Okay, Pawan sir, are you, whenever you are ready, please first unmute yourself and you can. Yeah.
Actually, regarding this, I just feel that there's in school, I need to have one kind of teacher, especially for who can counsel, what you call that, especially for this purpose, then which he or she can be better at least to discuss the problems with the child and can give solutions. And
Okay.
this way, because we feel that as the resolution students are increasing day by day, and there's no way that even the parents are not even listening to them. So one way we can cope up with that counselor, that extra responsibility can be given in school. And
Fair
second
enough.
part is with the parents, that as I already told, that we need to listen to our student, our kids. We cannot say that time has gone, that the parents are the one who takes the decision only. It is the now ball is in their court also. Should be they let the child should be the giving the chance to express themselves, and this way definitely the things with the resilience in child can be decreased, and somehow they can be able to take good decisions in coming days.
Great, great, Pawan sir. Thank you so much for sharing these wonderful suggestions. Now over to you, Miss Pavani.
Okay, my first point is exclusive time for teacher-student interaction should be introduced in every school. Number one. Number two, start the story method in every subject. Every subject should have stories. It's not only English or Hindi or Telugu. Even maths and social and other subjects also should be taught with stories, and that will bring difference. That will bring values into the classroom.
Wonderful, wonderful. One additional suggestion, I mean, we should be conducting more teachers training programs to train teachers to include story pedagogy in their learning or teaching habits, because this is not something,
Yes.
because this thing can be learned. I mean, and as the leader of the institution, we can conduct this round of the year training programs, at least in-house training
So
programs. Yes.
I'll add one point, Gulshan. A little, maybe I'm out of time, but I would like to add this point. 1 year, CBSE has sent a circular. We want stories from every subject. That year, all the teachers in the school put their heart and soul and started narrating stories in maths, science, social. Was that for circular? Can't we do it every day, every year?
This is how you
So,
bring more connection within the
so
classroom. Yes.
why connections are important? Because the roots are that. I grew up listening to Panchatantra, and that is why I have a different mindset today. So stories play a very important role in teaching is my standpoint, and we should stick to this.
Wonderful. Great, great, great. Thank you, Miss Pavani, for sharing your point. Over to you, Rani ma'am.
Yeah, adding with the ma'am's point itself, like a stories, like now we are discussing a point, resilience in this platform. Similar platforms our students should also get. Means that they can express. We have to allot some time for that, where they will express how they felt during their failures or how they overcame that. In each and every class, some students will be there. They can express the same thing. So once they start it, others will continue. They will find out. They will also have an insight. Is it happen with me also? So
They
that
can
type of
correlate with them.
activities we
Okay.
can conduct.
Fair
Yeah, and the
enough.
second thing about the parents, we are facing a lot of problem. Especially, I hope, as you mentioned, this is such a place, the Shahdol and all that. It is very difficult to make the parents understand. So we are struggling with it. I think in other metro cities it may be may not be a problem, but here we have to make the parents understand what we are doing in the schools. So we are studying socio-emotional learning. We are integrating art integrated learning here. We are telling SDG goals are there. This sustainable development goals are there. So they don't understand. So for us, the schools like us, we have to create such programs where we can orient parents as well.
So this region specific parents orientation program is not much an issue. I think, I mean, if you get, I mean, you train your teachers well how to engage the teachers in that sense so that they can understand with the regional specific challenges. So that would not be an issue. What wonderful suggestion. Thank you, Rani ma'am.
Yes.
Over to you, Meera ma'am, your last two suggestions. Unmute yourself, ma'am.
Yes, there are innumerable ways through which you can bring in resilience at all stages. But what I would feel is, as teachers, we should make the children feel very, very competent and capable. Give them that self-esteem and confidence so that they move ahead on their own. You only need to hold their finger, they will run for life. Second is to nurture a growth mindset. Identify the skill, help them grow in whatever skill they have. It need not be any particular science or social or math, but whatever skill set, it could be drawing, it could be art, it could be singing, music, anything. Whatever speciality they have, even talking, you have to encourage them, stand with them, nurture whatever skill they have. Identify the skill, nurture the skill.
Wonderful.
You can have a very happy school.
That's a wonderful suggestion. Even if you remember, Pavani ma'am, in this program, Decoding Productivity, we have discussed this point, how to have a growth mindset, isn't it? So wonderful, wonderful. Thank you everyone for sharing your good suggestions. It was a great evening, I would rather say. We laughed a lot, we learned a lot, and we discussed so many points, isn't it?
Yes.
So again, I from the entire family of Inspired Valley, I thank you, Pawan sir, Pavani ma'am, Rani ma'am, Meera ma'am, for taking time out and sharing these wonderful points. I'm sure that all
Thank
our
you so much.
listeners will be delighted.